Stacey, and if you look behind me, you can see I have brought a lot of my favorite stuffed animals to join us. You see, Miko even brought his favorite cracker, and he's going to be eating that while we enjoy this story. Cool? Now, if you have a favorite stuffed animal, why don't you go ahead and grab it, okay? Yeah, and then they can join us for story time. And if there's any grown-ups in the room, if you want to go ahead and follow the channel, go ahead and subscribe. That way you won't miss another story time. All right, so are we all back, ready to go? We got our stuffed animals. Maybe you grabbed a juice box on the way. All right, so the story we're going to be reading today, it is called My Brother the Duck, and it is by Pat Zietlow Miller, and it's illustrated by Daniel Wiseman. Now, if you also have a copy of this book, why don't you go ahead and open it up, and we'll go ahead and get started. My Brother the Duck by Pat Zietlow Miller, illustrated by Daniel Wiseman. I'm Stella Wells, fledgling scientist. Scientists notice things, and so do I. Like the fact my brother might be a duck. I spotted something odd before he was born. Dad told Mom, "You're waddling. We must be having a duck." They laughed. I didn't. A baby was bad enough. A duck was unacceptable. Research was obviously required. So when my parents returned from the hospital holding something wrapped in a blanket, I took notes. The thing was scrawny, it was yellow, its nose was flat and broad. It looked like a duck, but that was only a hypothesis. To prove it, I'd need evidence. Mom showed me the bundle. "Look, Stella, it's your baby brother, Drake." The name seemed noteworthy. Turns out Drake is a fancy word for a boy duck. My first piece of evidence, check. Drake, male duck. As soon as I wrote it down, Drake started squalling. Man, could that kid quack. Wah! My second piece of evidence, check. But scientists can't just wing it. They have to gather facts. Drake means boy duck. Loud quack, check, yes. Tests, check 1, check 2. So I visited my friend Carla Martinez. She's made volcanoes erupt, pickles glow, and paper clips float. We have a new baby. His name is Drake. I think he's a duck. Carla considered my statement. Male ducks are called drakes, she conceded. Does he quack? You should hear him. E equals MC square. Does he have feathers? Not yet, but he's fairly fuzzy. Does he have a bill? I stopped to think. Drake's nose was definitely not normal. I guess so, I said. Carla raised an eyebrow. Scientists don't guess. Further research was obviously required. Back home, Drake looked more like a duck than ever. Incredible, I said. But inconclusive, Carla replied. We must consult an expert. We chose Principal Kowalski. She drinks coffee from a duck-shaped mug. She keeps rubber ducks on her desk. She even calls, "Make way for ducklings," when our class walks down the hall. Miss Kowalski, I said. We were wondering, how can you tell if a baby duck is really, a duck? You know what people say, if it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck. There it was, An expert had confirmed my hypothesis. I was related to a duck. A waddling, quacking, broad-billed baby duck. I thought about it all day. Where we'd go, what we'd do. It wasn't so bad, really. We could still go fishing. We could still share lunch. Drake's feathers would add a certain flair to every photo. Plus, we'd never, ever lose a game of duck, duck, goose. I hurried home, ready to be the best big sister a duck ever had. Drake was in his bassinet. He looked rounder and smoother than before. His nose seemed almost normal. That didn't fit the bill. Was all my research wrong? Just then, Dad waddled by. I dropped my notebook and stared. Long, skinny legs, check. Wide, web feet, check. The biggest bill I'd ever seen, check. Pool time, he announced. I need to get my wings wet. And with those words, I knew. Stella Wells, fledgling scientist, had another hypothesis to test. Water sample, duck stuff, lake life. The end. Now this was such a great story, wasn't it? She thought her brother was a duck the whole time. And then she had to go investigate her dad. Man, what do you think? Do you think her dad's a duck? Yeah, I think he might be. I mean, look what he was wearing. Now, if you don't have a copy of this book and you want to go ahead and grab your very own, I have links below where you can learn about this fabulous author and grab your very own copy. Now, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and leave you, and I look forward to reading with you again soon. Bye!